The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and yes, we're coming to you from our studios in hot and sweltering Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the shores of Lake Ontario, smack dab in between the city of Toronto. Yep, that's where they had the G20 riots, and the beautiful city of Niagara Falls, Ontario, capital, Canada. 1-800-610-7035 is toll-free worldwide. Email xzone at xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv at hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. X-Zone Nation, this hour, my guest is, I call her the lovey psychic. Because this lady is... Well, you're going to listen to her over the next hour, and you're going to see what I mean. She's not the love psychic. She's the lovey psychic. Her name is Miss Bonnie. She's an internationally recognized clairvoyant medium, Reiki master, teacher, medical intuitive, astrologer, hypnotherapist, shamanic practitioner, and minister. She is also a published poet. Her voice is heard weekly on radio stations all over the United States and Canada. Miss Bonnie's office is located in Ohio, where she consoles client and teaches Reiki, as well as provides healing sessions. Miss Bonnie also heads a metaphysical institute called Intuitive Arts, which provides insight and referrals for those who are seekers on the path, just like each and every one of you listening tonight are. She's available for lectures, ceremonies, events, home visits, and over-the-phone consultations for those living outside of Ohio. Her website, www.bonnie444.com. That's www.bonnie444.com. And Miss Bonnie, you lovey psychic, welcome back to the X-Zone.
Oh, thank you, Rob. It's been a while.
Do you know why I call you the lovey psychic?
No, why?
Yeah, I mean that with affection. Because, you know, you always send something out on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
You know, and you and I go back. We just had our anniversary.
Yeah, June 29th, it was exactly 5 years that since you and I first shared the air together.
Since we first started doing our thing together.
Yeah.
Now, how many couples can actually say 5 years and no fights?
Absolutely. We are, well, you know, and even astrologically, Scorpio and Taurus we're partners. We're opposites, but we're partners.
Speaking about,
I can say you complete me on the air.
Oh, geez, that's wonderful. We've got about 30 seconds left before I have to go to my first break, but congratulations to you and your family. Another wedding.
Yes, thank you. My daughter gets married in a couple of days, and it's all very, very exciting and all good. You know.
Well, congratulations from everyone here at the X-Zone, and of course the members of the X-Zone Nation. We wish the couple, the happy couple, happiness, spirituality, health, and everything good in life.
Thank you.
You take care. You stand by. We'll be back on the other side of this 2-minute commercial break. Miss Bonnie is our special guest. www.bonnie444.com. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed.
It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies,
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows,
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
Welcome back, Exonation. Miss Bonnie is our special guest. Once again, her website, www.bonnie444.com. I've got a question that was asked to me yesterday before, just after we went off air, Miss Bonnie, and I knew you were coming on, so I saved the question just for you. Does this crazy weather that we're having affect people and their psychic premonitions, their psychic communication?
If you're talking about those of us that actually live in this energy like every day, so for instance, those of us that are 80% out there at this point and 20% here,
right?
No, not really, except for the fact that most mediums will walk around saying, man, it's really hot, like you know, it's the same temperature here.
Yeah.
Now, the individual who has not, however, like, you know, been working on their ability, and keep in mind, we all have this gift. There isn't any single person out there listening who can't do what I do with a lot of practice. So knowing that and understanding that, I can tell you that the full moon impacts people's vibrations. The average person, you know, walking down the street, they can get more prophetic dreams. As far as the temperature, sometimes the shifts in the earth, if there's an earthquake, you know, it can impact people's awareness, literally like shake them up, you know, okay? Sure. But there are people that also report, you hear about this, when there's a tornado coming or storms, you know, they'll say, some people, the older people, my joints are aching, the barometer's dropping. So we're all creatures of the universe, and we're all creatures of nature. But the average medium walking around, if we're really doing our work, we're not pulling it from ourselves anyway, and there's no ego at all involved. We pull it from up there and out there, and out there everything is really, you know, peach clean cool, and there's no clocks out there, there's no time. So, you know, that doesn't affect us at all, except for our bodies. Our physical bodies can experience certainly the temperature, and that can make it uncomfortable for anybody.
As a medical intuitive, Miss Bonnie, when you're out, I know that you have the ability to kind of protect yourself or shut off the psychic impressions you get from people. Are you able to do the same thing as a medical intuitive and block out the pain and the empathy that you feel for them?
And that's you always ask such good questions. Okay, so a medical intuitive is the person who, by normally closing their eyes and scanning your body centers, your chakras, and by using colors, can sort of pinpoint where there might be a problem. In order for a medical intuitive to do that correctly and effectively, we have to once again, place ego aside, place judgment aside. And so we also need, because we're sensitive and we're kind of opening ourselves up to whatever's out there, any person who's doing this work, and again, for those, I'd like to stretch the message, for those who are listening and you're developing any of your abilities, you want to establish a gatekeeper. And a gatekeeper is sort of like a bouncer, kind of like a Mr. T out there in the spirit world. And to get a gatekeeper, you simply have to ask, because they're already there, but it's a matter of you trusting. So if you were to say, I ask that my gatekeeper would be present or one be assigned to me in the here and now, remember, there's no time out there. You have to stay in the here and now. Then the gatekeeper arrives, whether you recognize the gatekeeper's name. It took me 30 years to find out the name of my gatekeeper. It may take you 5 minutes. But that gatekeeper literally is what it implies. They watch the door. And so that only good impressions, only things that are for your highest good, right? And things that are for the client's highest good are allowed to enter your realm. So it's no longer fear-based, it's love-based. And we know that everything that we feel on this planet can be traced back to either fear or love. So as opposed to saying, people will say, I'm putting a bubble around myself, I'm protecting my, that's so defensive. It's like very fearful. No, what you do, one moment in time, you ask for the gatekeeper is there, and you trust that whatever you receive then, is in a positive direction for your highest good and for the client's highest good.
So not only are there spirit guides, but now there's gatekeepers. So how many people from the other side actually work with us that you're able to see, that you're able to communicate with, that people like me and the rest of the X-Zone Nation who do not have this attuned ability that you've developed over the years have?
You want to know how many you said are working?
Yeah. How
well,
many?
I can tell you what kinds, because there can be as many as, 20 or 30, and
Holy
as
cow.
few as 2 or 3. But there are angels. Angels are messengers. They are beings. They're not really gendered. They're kind of flavored male and female. So you've got your angels on either side of you for sure, left and right. Sometimes you have one, or sometimes you can have a whole flock. It depends on what you need. Then you have your spirit guides, which is a really good thing to mention. They're with you normally, until you no longer need them. Then they can hop off, and then angels are there permanently. Spirit guides hop on. Oops, look, you need me. And they stay with you until you've mastered the lesson, whatever you need. Then they hop off, and usually a new one comes in. Then you have the gatekeeper, the bouncer, that you would really only invoke or use that aspect when you are really working with this energy. And people in hospice, too, I do recommend that you get a gatekeeper. Absolutely, or that you at least put one in, put an order in the catalog up there, because it's very important. So then you have your loved ones, who are people who are human, who lived here before, who are in spirit, right? And they touch in every now and then. They can kind of show up around you. The angels come as a thought. The Holy Spirit comes as a whisper. Spirit guides come as a picture sometimes for me, and the gatekeeper is just ever present. So I hope that, and people who passed away as a medium, their thoughts become mine. So mental mediumship requires telepathy.
Is it possible that when you're sitting down and you're reading for someone and they ask you a question and you make your connection with the other side, has it ever happened that you're getting more than one message at the same time? Because if we have a gatekeeper, if we have angels, if we have spirit guides, if we have...
Okay, this is,
holy
again,
cow.
great. That's a great... But listen now, the gatekeeper takes the tickets at the door. And before I start, and if you are a practicing medium or even a developing medium, I recommend, whether you call it a prayer, whether you call it a meditation, part of what I do when I prepare is to, I actually say, I open the door to any of those who are in spirit, who are of good intention only, who wish to come forward and speak with this person or leave a message with this person for someone else that's been left behind as a result of their passing. When you do that, you are a giant eagle, my friend, and you're at the deli counter, aren't you? And there's a number, isn't there?
Yes.
And they have to take a number before they order their quarter pound of salami or whatever they want. So that is a structured way. And then those in spirit, including your guides, they respect that because you're establishing, hey, look, love you, but I don't want somebody's aunt showing up in the middle of somebody else's consult. You know, you guys got to take a number, and they respect that, and they do line up. I mean, and they won't show up. They won't interfere with another consult. And again, the gatekeeper is a big, big help with that.
You know, I wasn't hungry at the beginning of this hour, but after that pastrami or salami, you know, I imagined myself at Ben's Delicatessen in Montreal on the corner of Peel and de Maisonneuve. As soon as you said that, that image popped into my mind, and you're talking about the deli, and the studio seemed to be filled with the aroma of a delicatessen. My Lord, you can do it to me all the time. Listen, I was just passed by a note here by my producer, Craig. Now, when was the last time you were with us?
December 21st of 2009.
Okay. At that time, you said I would be signing a television contract in May.
I did.
And I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Well, aren't angels great?
Oh, well, so is Miss Bonnie.
Well, listen, I'm just a good listener. I mean, the information that comes in from them, they get the credit. Well, that would have been just after your birthday then. Well, how cool
it was actually the very last day of May.
Oh, so that's a month after your birthday.
Oh, yeah, a month after, yeah. But you know what? You were dead on. And you know what, Miss Bonnie? That's what I love about you. One of the many things I love about you. You don't go on the limb like so many other want-to-be psychics and psychics who, over the years, developed the ego that you were talking about. You have always stayed honest. You have always stayed humble. You have always stayed Miss Bonnie.
Oh, thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank you, because you've done it.
Thanks for sharing that story. I always give the credit to the angels because it's beautiful when they can work with you like that. How wonderful.
Miss Bonnie, how has your life changed over the years doing the work that you do?
Well, let's see. How has it changed? I think what has changed is my outlook. Mm-hmm. And what has also changed is the way that I handle even, for instance, my children, like this wedding,
right.
You know, and my son's wedding, which I remember what you did with that Celine Dion song. I'll never forget what you did with that Celine Dion song. What it has created is an I mean, if you're going to do this work, then you got to pay attention to what you're getting, even if it's not on your behalf. There is a feeling or a sensation or a kind of a lightness that happens. That's why they call it light worker. I really believe It's not about necessarily light. It's about lightness, enlightenment. So what's happened to me is I've learned to kind of sit back as a person and kind of let the universe work. And I'm much lighter than I would have been, I think, if I hadn't gotten into this work 25 years ago. So consequently, you know, I have a future son-in-law and I have a current daughter-in-law, and they both really appreciate the fact that I kind of sit back, you know, and I don't like attach myself or try to control anything. Yeah. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that it's done for me, along with the fact that it's allowed me to experience so much love that comes back from the people who do appreciate, you know, my effort. So yeah, that's really, I've relaxed a lot more than I think I would have been had I not, you know, gotten into this wonderful work.
Miss Bonnie, you and I have to take our commercial break at the bottom of the hour for the news. Exo Nation, the lovey psychic. Well, that's my nickname for her. Her name is Miss Bonnie. Her website, www.bonnie444.com. 5 years, and here we are, still friends, good friends. And like I said, she nailed the television contract that we signed dead on. She has never come on the show with an ego. She has never come on the show cutting people up. And that's why Miss Bonnie is back today, because she is a lovey psychic. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as the X Zone continues right here from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, where the temperature right now, gang, 94 degrees. We'll be back. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies,
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows,
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
Welcome back, everyone. Miss Bonnie is our special guest. Her website is www.bonnie444.com. And Miss Bonnie is an internationally recognized clairvoyant medium, Reiki master teacher, medical intuitive, astrologer, hypnotherapist, shamanic practitioner, and minister. She is also a published poet. Her voice is heard weekly on radio stations all over the United States and Canada. And Miss Bonnie's official office is located in Ohio, where she consults with clients and teaches Reiki classes, as well as provides healing sessions. Miss Bonnie also heads a metaphysical institute called Intuitive Arts, which provides insight and referrals for those who are seekers on the path, just like each and every one of us are here listening to the X-Zone. And she's available for lectures, ceremonies, events, home visits, and over-the-phone consults for those living outside of Ohio. All this information is available to you at www.bonnie444.com. Bonnie, as a shamanic practitioner, how do you find, are more people coming to you and asking you or seeking your insight as a shamanic practitioner these days? And do you find that more people are turning to what you and I call New Age, spiritual, metaphysical, the unseen than before in your memory?
I can tell you that there are definitely more people that are turning toward what I call the light, that are really, really becoming more curious. The shamanic practice that I utilize when I teach my Dream Walker workshops, but it does show up a lot when somebody sits before me and let's just say that a Native American spirit guide shows up behind them and begins to speak about the importance of that person, maybe doing some drumming, maybe doing some shamanic journeying. So it's not so much that they were ending up really coming to me for my services at that point. It's that they go back to where they are and that they participate in the connection with their guides. Shamanic practice is something that everybody can do. And, the shaman really is a poet, a dancer, a writer. And you're basically a shaman. What you're doing, you have many, many irons in the fire. And, of course, your results of your work is an improvement in the human condition. So the word shaman, can be misused or abused. But if you work with it correctly, it usually just has to do with, reconnecting with the earth and making sure that you are attuned to Mother Earth, right? And that you are also participating in whatever ceremony you need that connects you with your own spirit guides, should they be Native American. And I will tell you this, too. 9 times out of 10, and I would even say 9.5 times if that's possible, the person that I recognize the guide behind will say, "That is so funny, I just bought a dream catcher." Oh, that's so strange. I've always been curious about that. So people, when you're out there and if you find yourself kind of leaning toward the native ways, there's a pretty good chance that you've got a Native American spirit guide. That means that the faster you get into participating into the ceremony or the process, the faster you connect with your guides. Guess what? The more information you get and the more accurate it becomes.
You know what, Miss Bonnie? There are those people who take on Native American heritage for some unknown reason. Doesn't that make them a little bit of a fake? And if they actually go out and try to use their newfound heritage that is totally bogus and use it as a shamanic healer, like I know a number of them out there do, are they opening themselves up, as well as for those they're trying to help, into dark areas?
Well, those people, anybody who comes for any kind of treatment, certainly their soul is open, and there is a responsibility on the part of the practitioner to stay humble and grateful and to understand that they are simply channeling that healing energy. They're not creating it.
Right.
To me, for those who sort of rest on the ego and they sort of say, well, I'm going to heal you, and some poor soul comes to them, usually it doesn't work out very well, and hopefully the person learns their lesson, not to come back.
Yeah.
I believe that because of the angels, that there's always protection around somebody who does get ripped off. There's always protection around somebody who does come and is, not exactly treated in a spiritual manner. And I believe also that karmically, there is a lot that a person ends up paying the price for presenting themselves. If you go on the internet, you see everything from, what is the native word for the shaman? There's a native word for in Hawaii.
Oh, I couldn't tell you, dear.
Well, let's just call it a voodoo or something.
Okay.
There's a Hawaiian word for the shaman, and there are people that will put that word behind their name or in front of their name. If you're going to put a label on yourself, you better know what you're doing. I mean, yes, I'm a reverend, but I've been ordained, and I only use that if I marry somebody, right?
Yeah.
But there is a lot of it going around. I think people everybody's every now and then is going to experience somebody who sees a market. There's a market for it. So someone says, "Hey, look at this. There's kind of a market for this. I think I'm going to hop on the bandwagon. I can make some bucks here." I can really do that.
But that's scary, Miss Bonnie, because as you and I have discussed many times, that in my humble opinion, and this is only my opinion, the internet is the biggest septic tank that mankind has ever created. And for those who use it like yourself, it's a tool. For those who use it like the wannabes that we're talking about at this point, who ride on the coattails of professionals like yourself, it is it's a source of targeting victims and a way of screwing people.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
I just thought they just gave me the words kahuna. Thank you for that.
That's right. Yeah.
Kahuna. So you'll see guru, Sri, Rapashina, you see Sanskrit words. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
You'll see kahuna this, kahuna that. You'll see Reiki master. Oh, that's one that gets to me. There are people that are teaching Reiki now in classes of 100. I call it the McDonald's of Reiki. I really do.
You deserve some Reiki today.
Yeah, some Reiki today. That's really good.
Thank you.
So when I do the Reiki, I teach 2 students at a time. It's a sacred art. So, let's face it, people are very creative, and unfortunately, they do take advantage of the sweet, wonderful, poor souls that are out there. I just did a TV segment where I talked about this. I have a portfolio of letters, including yours, by the way, Rob, which I thank you very much for that.
Anytime.
And some of your listeners that have heard me with you before. But it's a portfolio of people's letters. If you're going to go to anybody, I don't care if it's a Reiki master, quote unquote, if it's a Korean psychotherapist, if you're going to go to a reader, and of course, you can call it a psychic, but it's better to go to a medium or a clairvoyant, whatever. you can ask them, and you have a right to say, hey, have you got a portfolio, or is there something you can show me, like some kind of testimonial?
Yeah, but you know what? I've seen some of these, and I'm not talking about yours because yours is credible. I've seen some of these portfolios because now we ask psychics and guests to send us information on themselves. And we have a research department that verifies everything because with all the charlatans out there, I don't want to bring people on the show that are going to mislead people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start verifying their claims, it's always with references that cannot be verified or authenticated.
Oh, no, that's awful. Oh, my gosh. That's not good.
For example, I'll give you one example. One lady who wanted to come on the show as a medium said that she channeled John Lennon, Bobby Kennedy, and George Harrison, and a list of others.
Wow.
Now, how do you verify this? These are all dead people. I don't talk to the dead.
Unless you have John Lennon's nephew in your studio who can say, yeah, matter of fact, Dad did have a green tie with a spot on it. Unless you can do that, then I have to tell you this, and I don't usually say anything this bold, but I have a difficult time with reading about people who channel, especially if there's no way to verify the source. That's anybody can really say, well, I'm channeling Michael the Archangel.
Sure.
Okay, well, it doesn't become like, well, I knew him when he was a kid. Yeah, he did have a scooter. It's just very hard. I recommend that people go within. I tell them if you go within, you'll never go without. You can do this work, people, if you just quiet your mind and get rid of the ego and put the left brain, let it sleep or rest a little bit. You can go in there and you can get information, and that is a higher source.
Yeah.
Than somebody external who, seems to kind of blurt out this knowledge that supposedly comes through. So I have a hard time with people who channel those who've passed that cannot be verified.
Miss Bonnie, I had it so much that I canceled all psychics, all mediums, all channels, and I was never going to have another one back on the show.
Oh.
I had it. Because there was more bull involved than anything else. In fact, one psychic came on the show and so brazenly gave a list of predictions for the next month. Not one of them happened. In fact,
oh my goodness.
In fact, within hours of her sending this list of predictions, not only to our show, but to other members of the media, there was a big earthquake that wasn't mentioned.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So I figured, you know what? I've had it up to here with it. But it was because of people like yourself and other people who do good, who do no harm, that, and the thousands of emails that we received from our listeners, that I back down. Because I believe people like yourself and others that we are now having on the show are doing good. I just won't have those who I believe are doing bad on. It's that simple.
Well, that certainly is very generous of you to say so about my work, and I can tell you that it is important because if you're in it, you're of it. If you are sending out, people out in the airwaves, out in the ether, right?
Yeah.
That are not authentic, then in a way you're in that energy, and you're way past that at this point. You're way too pure in your efforts to, to certainly, what is the word, even gum up the airwaves with nonsense.
Do you know what I have learned over the years, Miss Bonnie? Those like yourself who are humble, that is one of the key points in our feeling and my own way of verifying someone who is authentic or not. Because those who get out there who are, I did this, I did that, I predicted this, I predicted that, I know this person, I know that person, it's all smoke and mirrors. But when you get the person like yourself who's very laid back, very humble, I know you do a lot of work behind the scenes that people will never know about.
Thank you. Yes, I do. That's psychic on your part. But humility and gratitude,
that's common sense because that's just a profile of someone who has your personality.
Oh,
you do a lot more than you than you say you do. And that's
Well,
being humble.
it's part of the job description in a way. As a light worker, there's three things that always come to my mind. The responsibilities of a light worker are clarity, consistency, and compassion. So that as long as I'm kind of in there, and I'm still human. I mean, I tell people come in and go, Miss Bonnie, is that you? And it's like, look, I just clean out my cat litter box. You know, I'm just a regular person. Please don't get so excited about you hear my voice. It's like, yes, this is me. Yes, I answer my own phone. You know, because it's the humanness that separates me from that other element that allows me to know the difference between when I'm in my ego, I'm going to drive someplace, between that and saying, okay, I surrender here. I'm a vessel. You tell me what you want me to say. And it's in being human that we actually learn the difference between what it's like when you're in that state of just this human left brain thing that you go, you know, and I'm not good in traffic. I'm no saint when I'm driving. That's where I am not, in my goodness.
But tell me something. Tell me something. As a psychic, shouldn't you know if traffic's going to be blocked up or not?
Yeah, I hear it and I don't. Here's the thing. I should listen when I get it. That's called precognition. And actually, I say away now from the word psychic because, and not to confuse anybody, but, you know, all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are medium. And it's really true. A medium is a person who sits in between the spirit world and on this earth as well, and can kind of bring you a lot of information that comes in, whether it's from your guides, your angels, or someone you love that's passed away. A psychic is a person who basically can really go beyond the average activity and either read your mind, pick your brain, tell you what color you like. And it's very important that when you go for a reading that you don't come out saying something like, man, was she good. She knew I had a Cadillac. And then you ask the person, well, okay, so what's the guidance? You know, what did you learn?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just learned that she was really good.
And I drive a Cadillac, which you probably saw you drive up to her house. And Miss Bonnie, stand by. You and I have to take our commercial break. We'll be back on the other side of this break. The lovey psychic, my good friend Miss Bonnie. www.bonnie444.com. X-Zone Nation, that's bonnie444.com. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies,
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows,
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, cents. This product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
5 years, my dear friend, and here we are still going strong. You're going into television. You've got a radio show. You've got the Institute. My God, you certainly have worked hard, and it's so nice to see you getting out there, because the more you're out there, Miss Bonnie, the more hearts that you'll be able to touch in the positive way that I know you do each and every day.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me, what are the angels saying? Do I have a message from the guides? Do I have a message from my angels?
Let's do that. Besides your assistant's breaks, that was funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do, 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 do.
They're like, you know what your angels just did? It was really funny because they're saying that you don't have a lot of patience on the phone. They said, please hold. Please hold. Like that ridiculous recording that you get.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Please hold.
There seems to be, so, right. The angels want you to know that you need, there's an importance to really take care of your health now, physically, your physical health. Mm-hmm. They're especially talking about your sweet knees. Your sweet knees.
Aww.
And nice. And just the importance of like really understanding that you listen if your knees should speak to you and complain a little, just don't repeat the activity that caused it. So they're saying that you're a brilliant man, you're a wizard, but you're a bit of a slow learner emotionally, they're saying, when it comes to paying attention sometimes, apparently, to your body when it gives you little signals.
Uh-huh.
So that when you find, when you find yourself, say you decide to go for a hike or something, I see you going up, it's like you're going up, incline, and your knee starts to go, hey, what's up with this, Rob? Do we know how old we are? Then it's just best to rest and not to push the activity past that. Professionally speaking, they are talking about a woman that you're going to be affiliated with in the future, and she can lead you into something to do with a Latin American country, with Latin America. Now, when I think of Latin, raised Catholic on Dominus Vobiscum, the whole thing, but obviously this is not Latin. It really has to do more with whatever is considered to be Latin America, which is probably like Central America, maybe South America. She will be a guiding light to you. They're also speaking about your partner in life and the importance of her getting some rest, and that she might end up writing a book or something. They're talking about a book. And they're saying refrain from organizing her. Okay. So it's just all very interesting. But Latin America, I'm going to have to Google that when I hang up. Because I'm trying to think of what is really considered to be the Latin American countries, like what that's considered. But this woman, I see her, they're showing me now. Okay, she's got dark hair, and she's just awesome, and she likes to share, and she's really big into feeding the people.
Well, that's good, because I love eating. Hey, Miss Bonnie, hate to do this, honey. You and I have to say so long for now. We'll have you back on in the very near future. Again, congratulations to the happy couple. Give them our love, our blessings, and you're always in our prayers. Take care, Miss Bonnie. Bonnie444.com. We'll be back after the news. Don't go away.